Hello and good morning. Welcome to the Thursday training call. My name is Starlette Johnson and I am one of the national trainers here at Mortgage Coach. Thank you all for joining today. Before we begin, I would like to position a poll so it can be the fundamentals and the front of today's call. Before I get into letting you know what today's session is, I really want to launch this poll to kind of see where you guys all fall today. So give me 1 second to launch a poll. And if you all who are on the phone on the line today will participate, I would greatly appreciate that. So let me launch this poll really quickly. So I want to know from those who are on the line today, do you use fee or product templates today? Yes or no? Please let me know by answering the chat. It's very interesting to see these results here. So we have a lot of people on the call, so I'm just going to give you a few more seconds to answer because it's really going to determine today's training session. All right, so we have a split. About 33% says yes, we do, and about 67% says no, we don't. So I definitely hope to change that today. So while that poll is still up and people are logging in and answering the poll questions, for those who, look, that number has just changed. It's more geared to no. So those who are answering the poll, within the webinar, you will locate a control panel right to the right of your screen. This is how we will communicate throughout today's session. So if you have any comments, concerns, and feedback, definitely place it within the webinar underneath the question feature. So for those who do use product templates and fee templates, can you tell me, do you combine those two together or do you use those separately? So if you can just answer that right there in the webinar, that'll definitely help me out with today's session. So do you have just your fee templates set up? Do you just have your product template set up so you don't combine? Okay, thanks, Murray. So Murray says separately. He doesn't have them combined. Anyone else on the call want to share? Anyone who says that they are using the product templates, how are you using them? Do you combine with, and when I say combine, having your product templates linked with your fee template and your monthly costs? I'll give you a second or two. I'm going to go ahead and close the poll right now. Okay, so good deal. So thank you, Murray, for sharing that you use them separately. So the topic for today's training call or Thursday call, Q&A, is really like a speed tip, best practices, how you as a mortgage professional can be more efficient with creating your total cost analysis presentations, your TCA, whether it's for purchase or refinance. How can you build those a little bit quicker? And the quickest way to do that is by having your product templates and your fee templates created. Now, if you take it a step further by advancing, I want to show you how to group those two products together along with your monthly costs to make it super efficient and help you save down or cut a lot of time. So that's what today's topic is going to be on, combining those product and fee templates together to help you develop an efficient way to build your TCAs. Also, the copy feature, how to copy a particular presentation to another, maybe the same client or maybe a new client. And also the Start Now button. So really talk about the Start Now button and how you can drive business. So when you send those TCAs, instead of having it out there along with adding your video, but what are you adding to your video? Are you doing a call to action? Hit that Start Now button and start creating or start filling out an online application on my website. So I want to make sure that you guys are really using that Start Now button. So that's what we'll talk about. In addition to that, we will also talk about the widget. A lot of people may not know what the widget is, but it is definitely like a lead generation type of tool or feature that we offer to our Mortgage Coach members. So I'll talk to you a little bit about the widget as well. So let's get started. So I want to show you some of these great helpful hints. And please, if you have any questions before I get into today's session, please pose those at the top of the session so I can maybe also incorporate that in today's session as well. And give me 1 second. I am showing my screen. I am showing my main screen. So, Pam, so please let me know if you can't see my screen. Please let me know. I am showing our website that shows the modern mortgage experience. It is the Mortgage Coach website. So is anyone else having any trouble with reviewing my home screen? Please let me know.
I do see your screen, Star, so it does show. So, okay, perfect. Pam does see it. Michael says he doesn't, though. Can you see it now, Michael?
Okay.
Okay, they are seeing it. Oh, that's it. Two people only. Okay, you're set, Star.
Okay, good to go. Thanks, Lori. I appreciate it. And just for those of you who don't know, I have my co-host on the line, Lori Lido. So she will be assisting me throughout today's presentation if need be. So thanks, Lori. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to access my Mortgage Coach system. So as you all know, you would need to enter a blank browser, type in edge.mortgagecoach.com. So I would definitely say add this to your favorites or bookmark it. But if you're on the website, under member services, you can also log in this area as well. So if you forgot the web address and you need to log in, you can always do it from our home screen as well. So I'm just going to bring up any type of presentation that I have because I really want to show you where that start now address is. So I'll just bring up a presentation that I've already had created. Preview the presentation. And I'm going to be talking about this button here. So when you are creating your total cost analysis presentation, that Start Now button, and where can you drive your business. So we go back into Mortgage Coach in the home screen to start developing those product templates along with those fee templates and combining them for future use. You'll need to go right into your settings area. And right in the settings area, this is where you can start building those fee templates and product templates. So some of you already created your fee templates. Say, for example, I have several fee templates that I build. I just pretty much build them every day. So you can see I have a lot. But to give you an example, if I wanted to build a fee template, all I have to do is hit New. Name that fee template, whatever it is. If it's state specific, so if you're doing multiple loans in different states and these fees are for selected states, you can definitely hit the drop down and find that particular state. Or if these fees are for all states, so maybe you're doing a purchase out of 30 fees, 10 are always the same. They can be used for any state. You can leave that blank. Select OK. You have a blank canvas here where you can start adding your fees. So you can do this prior, and all you have to do is select Add Fee and start adding your fees. So maybe you're working off a fee sheet, and here you have a description. You'll have a line item that may not be the one that you want, but we have a wealth of fees here. All you have to do is scroll down and find the particular fee that you're looking for, or hit the first letter of that line item. So if it's underwriting, you hit U for underwriting, find what you're looking for, hit enter, select the method. So if it's based off a percentage or a whole dollar amount, you can put that here. And what party is going to pay for it? The borrower, lender, seller, and then whether it's an APR fee or a non-APR fee. So anything that's an APR fee, you will select the check, you'll check that box to indicate APR. If it's a non-APR, you leave it unchecked. And if you're going to add it to the loan or not. So that is how you would build your fee templates. And to save, all you have to do is just click in another tab and that fee template is saved for you. It's just that easy. Here's my sample. And it's just that easy. Same thing with your product templates. So when it comes to your product templates, and great question. So question is, what is PPE? PPE means prepaid escrow. So since you brought up that question, Michael, what I want to tell you guys, what I've noticed in some of our support when we have some questions that comes to some of us as trainers or support, when you're building your fee templates, if you add in your hazard insurance here and put a dollar amount, and as you build, you're still collecting for taxes and reserves, you need to put it in one area or the other. So if you add, when you're going through the presentation, I'll show you what I'm talking about. If you're calling for reserves, you need to either select it in the wizard or just leave it here in your fees. Because if you add in both places, then you're double dipping, and then your cash at close won't align. So best practice, just make sure these are just your fees, and then your prepaid escrow, you can add that as you build, and I'll show you exactly what I mean. But again, PPE is prepaid escrow. So when it comes to the product template, you do the same thing as you would your fee template. It's a little bit different. At this point, you'll select new, name your product template, and you'll start entering in some of your parameters for that loan. So let me just start here right now. I'm going to just do combine temp for demonstration purposes. It is a conventional 30. Okay, so I just want to make sure that I show you this. So name your product name, whatever you want. So I'm going to name it here. And then is there any upfront premium? Well, this is a conventional, so there's no upfront premium. And then what about and what am I doing? I'm doing a purchase. Okay, so I'm doing a purchase. And so there's no upfront premium required. What about the interest rate? Let's just say the interest rate on this purchase is 3.375. Please keep in mind, I have not pulled a rate sheet. I am not in a production environment like you all. So I'm just putting in some factors to drive home the point. So the term for my purchase, I put 30, so I know it's 30 years. So I need to put it in term format within months, so 360 months. The loan type is a fix. If there's any interest only months, you'll complete that. Also, the APR, I want to group in my closing costs and pull from a fee template. So I'm gonna leave this blank. If there's any points I want to add for this particular product, I can add it here. Prepaid fees, I'm going to leave that blank as well. Also, my non-APR, because I want to pull from some of my fee templates. Any seller contribution, you can add it here. Also, if you want to call for any reserves. So yes, I want 2 months for hazard reserves along with a 12-month premium. And I also want to collect 4 months for tax reserves. Now what I want to do is loop in my closing costs and my monthly costs. So I'm going to select closing costs. Now I can pull from some of those fee templates. This is that one that I created earlier where I added that underwriting fee for $500, but I want to pull from a full fee template that I've created. So let me look for my conventional 30-year purchase. Select that. All those fees are now filtered in that blank area for me. And what I want to do is right at the bottom, add to template. Select it. Now you can see my APR and my non-APR costs are filtered right in those areas for me, and now it's shaded out. Now let's enter in some of those monthly costs. So I'm going to select monthly costs. And now when it comes to the monthly cost area, I could easily put in a bulk number here as to say the hazard reserves would be, I don't know, $200. But what I like to do is I like to use factors. And the reason why I like to use a factor, I'll just say 0.35 of for the hazard insurance, that's going to be driven off the purchase price. So if the purchase price goes up or down, the system will automatically update those figures for me. But if I use a bulk number and if those adjustments take place, the purchase price goes up or down, me as a end user, I would have to come in there and manually make those adjustments. So I'm going to say the hazard insurance will be built off a factor of 0.35 along with the property taxes of 1.25. And I didn't put down my down payment, so I'm going to come here and put my down payment of 5%. So with 5%, I'm pretty sure 9 times out of 10, I'm going to need some mortgage insurance. So on this particular conventional, I'll just say that I'll use a factor of 0.70 for that. And now click OK. Now I have in my monthly costs. Let me add those reserves back one more time. 2 months for hazard with a 12-month premium along with 4 months for the property taxes. So now I'm set. I have my product template. I've looped in my closing cost details. I've added that to the template. I have my monthly costs as well. So I use those factors. I'm good to go here. And let me add in my down payment. So my down payment is 5%. Now I'm just about finished. Now I need to save. You may say, well, how are you able to save? I don't see a save button. Well, great question. All I have to do is tab into or click into another tab and it automatically saves for me. So just by clicking in another tab, it will save that product template. And let's see what I called it. I said combined. This one. Oops. Clicking too fast. Combined template. I have so many in here. Don't be like me and have all these. Combine. Give me 1 second. I'm looking for it. I know I'm missing it, but give me 1 second, please. This is one that I've already created. A sample. I just seen it. Lori, are you seeing this? Let me go.
Yes, go ahead and flip to your screen and flip back. Because I did see it and then it went away for some reason. Now go back to, yeah. Go all the way to the bottom because a lot of times when you first create them, they would be at the very base because they don't alphabetize, but I don't see it there for some reason.
Yeah, I don't see it, but I definitely know it's hiding somewhere because you all just seen it. But anyways,
And you might see it in the drop down. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll look for it in the drop down. But anyways, I've already had a backup here already. So I had one that I did.
Got lucky.
Yes. So I have to try to figure out what happened to that other one that we just did together. But I already had one that I did create prior to this call. So I named it Combined Product Template for a purchase option for the fee template, fee template, product template, and monthly cost, conventional 30-year. So this is what I named my product here. I took the same exact steps that we just did. I added the 5% down payment, the interest rate, the prepaid days of interest. I added in those closing costs, those monthly fees, and I called for those reserves. So it's just that simple and that easy. I have so many here. I do apologize, but I was being proactive to make sure that I did a duplicate one. So here it is here, but it's just that simple. So now let's put it into practice. I want to go to new client and start building. So give me 1 second. I think I have a question in the question box. So the question is, what do you do with the property tax if it's a refinance? So in my scenario here, I am working with a purchase. So I'm calling out for my purchase. You can do the same thing if you want. You can leave the taxes, blank if you want for refinance. Just make sure that you name your product purchase versus refinance, because you may just go off the tax bill or maybe the information that you have pulled from title. So each scenario is different. So in this scenario, it's just strictly a purchase where I'm using those factors. But if it's a refinance, you may just follow suit and already use what's already established based on that updated tax bill that you pull from title when you're going through that transaction. So I hope that answers your question, Mr. Rain.
And Star, I do want to mention when I create product templates, I do create one for a purchase and I create one for a refinance. And then on the refinance, I do not mark the annual taxes to be collected. So those usually are distinctions for me between refi and purchase. So I'm not sure if that helped you, Lewis, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Because that only do the same thing for you. I collect those 2 months and then a 12-month premium, but it's a little bit different from the refinance because it really depends on when you're closing your loan, when taxes are due. So a lot of those variables happens when it comes to refinances. So everything is a case by case based on that scenario. But he said it, yes, it did. It did answer his question. So great. Thanks, Lori. Okay, so now let's just get started. I just want to build a simple presentation to show you how easy it is, and I'll just do Lori. I'll do Lori. And last name, I'll just do Jones. And there is no co-borrower, first or last name. You can add a phone number if you like. I'm going to go ahead and skip it for time purposes. Is my customer a client or a prospect? It is a customer. And does she rent or own? She owns. Was she referred to me by someone? No. But if I wanted to loop in that referred party, you can definitely add their email and they will too be alerted when the presentation is reviewed. Friendly name, we always highly suggest that you always add a friendly name to keep you honest as you are building your presentations. So I'll just do purchase options here and advance forward. The goal, purchase a new home. Assumptions, let's just say that this particular home is listed for $300,000. Let's advance forward. The affordability, I can skip this screen. You can definitely skip this screen if you like. There are no red indicators here, but this is the area if you wanted to show a tax benefit for your customers, the benefits of being a homeowner and what they can write off. You can definitely come here within affordability and enclose the tax bracket. If you, for some reason, or your customer does not know what tax bracket they fall in, come here, click on Find Tax Bracket, and we will route you to a quick link. And all you need is a couple of pieces of information: the annual gross income, the filing status, head of household, single, joint, married, filing joint separately, etc., and the tax year. So I'm going to go skip affordability and move right into products. So the product name, I will just say it's a 30-year fix, and it's a purchase. Whenever you have your product name, make sure that it stays within 12 characters or less, including spacing. So try to abbreviate just in the event that you decide to print out a presentation and provide it to a customer. But best practice, we always suggest that you send the link via email or via text because it is a live link in real time. So anytime you make any corrections, add a fourth product, make any changes to the actual transaction, increase the loan amount, or change any fees, the customer can click on that link and see it in real time immediately versus you have to connect with the customer, print them on another doc, and give it to them. Okay, and right here at this point, this is where you can add from a product template. So I'm going to select my product template that I have that can bind one. Let's see here, I have so many. I'm going to select from my combined product template, the purchase options, where I've looped in the fee template, the product template, and also the monthly cost. And as you can see, the down payment, it is driven off that purchase price of $300 that I put in there. The system lets me know that down payment with my new base loan amount. The rate is already pre-filtered because I've already put that in my template when I created it. Let me advance forward. My closing cost also was incorporated in that product template that I created. Also, my prepaid days of interest. That saves me some time. I don't have to do anything here. If I needed to make any changes, all I have to do is go into the closing cost detail and make those edits. Add in any earnest money as applicable. I'm good to go. Let me advance forward. Look at those monthly costs. So remember, by using a factor on a purchase, that's where I'm using those factors. Based on that purchase price, the factor I'm using is 0.35. It already calculates where that hazard insurance should be, also the property taxes. My down payment was 5%, so the system is pulling that mortgage insurance, providing that factor for me. I don't have to select my reserves. So on a purchase, I've selected 2 months for reserves plus a 12-month premium in my template. So you can see that here. And it's just that easy. There was not a lot of edits, if any, that I even had to do. All I added was just my earnest money. And see how simple that was? If I only had one product for the customer, I can advance forward. I'm going to bring a product template that I do have that I have not looped in all of the templates to make it this easy. So let me add a product number 2. And I'm just going to call this one sample so you can see. Pull from one of those product templates, this 10% down. I don't even think I have anything saved on this particular one. Let's see. Here's some information I have on one saved on a 30-year fixed 400K. But in this example, we'll just say that it's 300K. I already had my down payment, which was 20% on that template. So I have my base loan amount with my down payment. I have the rate in there for me. And this is where I did it separately. This is template only with nothing else. Well, I guess I did have closing costs in there as well. And I also had a monthly cost. So I was able to build 2 templates that easy. I'm going to skip the contact information, go to presentation, clean up my payment notes, advance forward, skip right over to preview, add in my quote date. This is where you can generate your link and also add in those videos. Video is very instrumental when it comes to your presentation to make sure that you're doing a call to action and you're educating your customers. So always add video. You can copy and paste your link into an email, or if you're working with a window-based computer, you can hit email. An email will populate and embed this link right in the body of the email. You can share Facebook and Twitter, but when it comes to social media, please review your policy and procedures for your line of business. But let's just preview and see. So I didn't really have to do anything. And it was just that simple and that easy for me to build these 2 products side by side. I have 2 different scenarios where I have an interest rate of 4.125 and I have an interest rate of 3.75, but you can see it was just that easy. So when people may say, you know, I've only done 0 to 5 presentations, I may not be that good, or I haven't had a chance to really dive deep. Well, if you come in here and do your product templates and your fee templates and just combining those 2, it makes it very easy when it comes to building. As you can see, it did not take a lot of time to do that right in your presence. So before I move on, I just want to make sure if there's any questions when it comes to combining those 3 areas. So remember, it was the fee template, also the monthly cost, and combining that with your product template. So when you pull it, and it's time to add that particular presentation. Let me go back into the wizard here. So when you want to select new and you jump into product and it's time to pull, to show you how it cuts down so much time and it's a little bit easier for you. So I want to pause here just in case there's any questions. I am monitoring the question box. So if there's any questions with combining those templates, please let me know. I'll give you a second to gather your thoughts. So I want to position a poll just to see. I'm going to go ahead and launch a poll, but I want to know, how many total cost analysis have you created for those that are on the call? Have you done less than 5, over 10, over 50? Are you a power user? Have you done more than 50? Let me know. I have a few people who says less than 5, over 10. I have a few people who says over 50. Wow, you guys are power users. That's great. So the ones that said, I'm going to thank you very much for participating in my poll. I'm going to go ahead and close that poll now. So for those of you who want to share in the question feature, for those of you who have created less than 5, by building your feed templates and product templates and looping those together, do you think that you'll be able to build more now that you know an easier and efficient way to do so? Can you let me know in the question feature? And I'm going to prepare to move on to my next segment here. But please let me know if you see that you can do that, and it'll be a little bit more easier for you. So if you don't mind sharing, that will be great. So the next thing that I want to talk about is when you're looking at your final product here, no matter which type of presentation that you build for your customers. After you add video to your presentation and now you want to do a call to action. Thank you very much, Lori, for talking with me today and doing a financial assessment. This is on your video. Make sure your video is 2 minutes or less, high energy, upbeat, but you want to make sure you do a call to action. So you may say, Lori, based on some information, here's a scenario of what you could potentially qualify for. So if you take a moment or two, once you review this total cost analysis, hit the start now button and let's do a online application. So when you hit start now, my start now button drives you right back to our website. But maybe your start now button would direct your traffic flow to your website or maybe an instant online application page. So what you would need to do in Mortgage Coach, right in the system on the home screen, within settings, under your contact information, right below your website is your start now address. So the address that you add here. So if it's maybe, for example, you may have http and at mortgagecoach.com forward slash applications, or a special URL to an application within your website. Wherever you want to drive that business, make sure that you disclose that information within your start now address. And that will be shown on your final presentation to route that traffic there. So remember, within your home screen, under settings, here's your start now address. And this is where you can display that address. Really simple. So that's the start now address for the final presentation. What I want to talk to you guys about now is your widget. So since we're in the settings within the contact information, is the widget. By a show of hands, so right there in the webinar, you would locate a webinar control panel, and you should see a hand icon. So if you can all, just by a show of hands, please tell me, have you created an EDGE widget? So if you could just raise your hand and let me know, for those who have created an EDGE widget, do you even know what an EDGE widget is? Just by raising your hand. So I don't see any hands raised. I have one. Okay, Edward, Pam. Anyone else? Just two, huh? Okay, well, let's see if we can change that. So your EDGE widget is more like a lead generation type of device. So how the EDGE widget works, to create an EDGE widget, you have to make sure you have a business address. You want to make sure that you have your image downloaded, your headshot, and also a cell phone number. So you want to make sure you have a cell phone number, your address, and also an image of yourself. So what you'll do is hit create EDGE widget. I have one created myself. And right here is where you can identify your notifications. So do you want to receive your notifications via email when an entry is received, via text message? If you want to receive your notifications via text message, you can check this box and make sure that you also add your phone number. And then here, and you can select what you want to be shown on the widget. So if you want your photo to be shown, your logo, your address, you can select all three, or you can omit one of the three. Here's where you have a header text, some additional text information that you can summarize. Thank you very much for contacting me. I specialize in refinances or purchase, whatever you like to do, with however you can display your book of business and your expertise. And there's a confirmation message. So after a widget is created and a submission is sent, the customer or the receiving end person will receive your message. So my message, I have a little bit of verbiage here. So when you make those edits and you update some information here by adding your header text, some additional text, or a confirmation message, you'll just hit update. You'll see update in the top left. If you want to embed your widget maybe on your website, so if you have admin rights to your website, you can definitely copy and paste this information and put that within your HTML area within your website. But if you don't have admin rights, you might want to get with your IT person. And then here's your individual link that you can email this link. So I'm going to copy this link so you guys can see what it looks like into a blank browser. And this is the EDGE widget. So you can also email, you can also text this as well. So if it's on your phone, when you see it in a text message, this will be the whole phone in itself. But when you email it, you see it's a half of a page. So the purpose of doing your widget is, say, for example, you have a realtor partner who you're always connecting with. They're always out there networking and meeting borrowers who's interested in purchasing a home, but maybe they're not qualified. Maybe they don't have a pre-qual letter. And you sent this to your realtor partner via email, or you sent it to your partner via text message. I know me, or some working professionals, you may have your email linked up to your cell phone. So you could check your messages on your phone and get that link text over. So this is what it looks like if you were to text it. Just your little link right here. So they'll click on that link. And the widget, which is the same size of a phone, if you look at it, so it fills your whole phone. So when the client receives this, they can put in their information. Bradley, Omar, and an email address. Let's see, just any old email address here. And then a phone number. And then once they complete this information, just some basic information, just the first name, last name, and email, and a best contact number, they'll hit submit. And once it goes through, they'll see that confirmation message here. That's what it looks like on the browser version, and it will be the same thing on the mobile as well. You'll see that message here. And what it does is it's a lead generator. So every time this is completed, you will see a new record within your Mortgage Edge system. So if I go back to home, it should be the first record here, but if it's not, all you have to do is hit View All, Search, and I'm going to scroll and look for Bradley Omar, and here's that record right here. Now at this point, I can open the record, and it's like it starts building your presentation for you. So you already have the first name, last name, the best contact number. So based on the conversation with Bradley, now I can determine what I can do for them and start doing a presentation. So that's how the widget works. Is there any questions when it comes to the wizard? Want to make sure I address all the questions while I have you on the call today. Okay, good. No questions. That means I'm hitting all the key points for you guys. So also the copy feature. So I want to talk about the copy feature. So let's go to a presentation. Let's see. I want to go to my Patty purchase. I'm going to select, this is what I'm doing. I want to see all of my records that I've created at a glance. So within my new client area, within my recent clients area, I'm selecting View All. I can put in search parameters here if I want, but I like to hit search to see all of my records at a glance. So now I want to scroll down and see Patty purchase. Look for Patty purchase. And by having those friendly names, it really keeps me organized. So I can see that I've done a 5-year down, a 5% down payment conventional, 30-year versus an FHA. I've done a refinance, rate and term. I've done a purchase, conventional versus ARM with some caps there. But I want to take this record here, this already produced record that I've done for my customer Patty purchase. And now I have the same scenario for another customer. So instead of me recreating those products all over again, I've already done this scenario in the past. So it'll be perfect for this new customer that I have. So all I want to do at this point is just copy. Hit copy analysis. And then you have a little segue here. Are you copying it for the current client or for a new client? Well, let me copy for a new client. Select OK. Now, once the system uploads and refresh for me, now you can see here, I need to add in the new client's information. It was referred by Mr. Realtor, so I can get that out the way. But the whole purpose of copying is it cuts down some of your entry points. And the entry points that I want to cut down is those products that I built. So I have that 5 years, so I don't have to remimic that information. Maybe I have the same scenario with a purchase price of $300,000. Also, instead of me recreating that FHA product, I already have it here. So now it helps me to cut down some time, and I can do a new product for my new customer and just have to do a little bit of editing here. And it's just that simple when it comes to copying one presentation from an existing customer that's a perfect scenario for a new customer and just make a few little edits. And that's all. So definitely you would edit the information. Again, this is a screen that you can bypass, but for my Patty purchase, I went ahead and entered some income scenarios. So maybe it's $85,000 for the new customer and then so forth. But you get the drift. But the main important piece here is you don't have to rebuild those products. Those products are already created for you. It's not for the existing customer. Now it's time for you to build a new record for your new customer. So I want to pause here to see if there's any questions with copying. So you know we went to home, we went to view all, we searched for that client, but also there's another area that I want to show you. Oh, while we're here as well, I wanted to touch on a point earlier in the call where I told you when you're building your product templates and your fee templates and you're combining them, make sure that you do one or the other. So if you're creating your fee templates here in your settings area and you want to group it with a product template, you want to make sure if you're adding your escrow to that fee template that you don't come here and ask for some additional reserves. So you need to make sure that you have it in one place or the other. So that's what I wanted to touch on. But again, going back to copying. So is there any questions that you may have when it comes to copying? Okay. I want to show you anywhere within the wizard you have a help button. Whether you're building your products or right here on the home face, you have a help button. All you have to do is hit help and it routes you right over to our Mortgage Coach Support Center. You can hit on Coach, Mortgage Coach, and look for your different scenarios here, strategies, building your report, adding video, or you can simply type in the search engine here for your keyword, phrase, or scenario, and everything we have on that particular item will be displayed for you. So I want to bring up settings. So here's a good resource for you to review. It's setting up the basics. So if you guys have not created your product templates or your fee templates, we have a video asset for you. Let me copy and paste. I'm going to copy this and put it right in our chat within the webinar underneath the question feature. You'll locate a chat box. So you can click on that video asset that we have and we really walk you through the basics. Setting up your contact information if it's not properly set up today, uploading your photos and logos, creating those product templates, those fee templates, editing your disclaimer to make sure that you have everything listed on your presentation, whether it's all of your verbiage, your company's verbiage, subsidiary, the parent company, all of that, and changing your accounting billing information if you are individual user and not an enterprise where your company's not paying it for you. So we give you a lot of good information about the basics. So definitely I wanted to share that with you when it comes to our Mortgage Coach Support Center. So I think that will be very helpful and it really ties in today's topics. So just as a recap, just in case you guys have any questions, this was a speed tip session to show you how to create your presentations much quicker and efficient. So developing your product templates and combining your fee templates with the monthly costs, how to copy, using your widget, and also the Start Now button. And now for those of you who answered earlier in the call who used the product template and the fee template separately, now you've learned how to combine those two and make it a little bit more easier and reduce the edits when it comes to building your presentations. So we have 10 minutes to our stopping time. I just want to make sure if you guys have any questions, I can address those for you. These are definitely calls for you. This is a platform for you to ask any questions that you may have. So I hope today's information was very helpful for you. So now it makes it a little bit more easier so you can continue to build. So those people who created 0 to 5, now you can move from 5 to 10. And the people from 10 can go from 10 to 20. And then my over 50 users, you can continue to be an overachiever power user. So I love it. Great. So again, this will be last call for any questions. I will give you a couple of seconds to pose those questions right here in the webinar. And I'm going to open up the floor to my co-host, Lori.
Oh, perfect. The one thing I did want to mention, there are a few people who are on enterprise accounts and they might already have fee templates, but they're built at the enterprise level. Can you show real quick how to create a product template and just show how you could pull down the fee template and then save as a new product template?
Yeah, sure. No problem.
So that way they don't have to recreate those fee templates, or show them also how they can save them down in their settings. Because this way you can use the corporate templates and put it into your product templates for those people on the enterprise accounts.
So we'll just go to settings here. and we can go to product templates. So I can just pull from any product template that I already had. Well, I'll just do new. I'll do new.
Actually, oh, okay. You're going to create a product template and then go from
Yeah,
there?
I was going to show them
Okay.
really quickly.
The settings.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so in settings here, I can just go ahead and just name it. So I'll just do sample 3 and just put in some basic information here and a down payment, prepaid days of interest. If I'm going too fast, I really do apologize, but we are recording this call for you guys. And let's talk about, I want to do some reserves. 2, 12,
Yeah.
4.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
then you want me to go right here to the closing cost details and pull from some fee templates?
No, because we're doing it at the corporate level, which means that they can only receive the fee template when they're in creating an account itself. But throw in some monthly costs, and I'll show you what to do. Let's go
Okay.
ahead and go into monthly costs. Go ahead and put in the 0.35, 0.75. And we use 0.35 and 1.25 because we're in Southern California, and that's just the average estimate that we use. Okay, so now let's just go up to new client and let's take that product template and apply it to a loan. So new client, we're going to cheat a little bit.
All right.
So click on new client, go to products. We're just going to show them how it works. So we're not going to fill out the presentation. So yes, go ahead and put in your product template.
There we go.
So you can see how you have your down payment and your term. So if you advance the screen, you'll see there's no fee templates in that product template. So if you're on a corporate account, just go into your closing cost details, pull down the fee template that they provided for you. If you're doing FHA, put your FHA template or conventional. So go ahead and apply one, then apply it to the loan. And now when you advance to the monthly cost screen, you have a way to add, save it as a template. So this way you can save a template as you're building your products, and you can combine those fee templates that your organization has built for you. So again, it will speed the process up. If you're using the Optimal Blue interface or any other APIs, these templates also speed you through because a lot of times fees aren't in the API. So this way it will be in your product template as well as those monthly costs. So you get the combination of having the speed from the API and then the product templates to finish off your product. So there you go.
There you go. Thank you so much. Give me 1 second. I think we have a question in the question feature. So this question is, if you copy an open house flyer from an old one and for some reason the programs and information did not transfer over. So if you have an open house flyer, let's see, I'm not sure if you're copying new for the existing, if you had an open house flyer for a realtor partner and you wanted to create another one. But if we go into, for example, I go into Ricky Real Estate, I have an open house flyer that I've created. Or actually, let me go here. I'm sorry. Home. I want to go to view all. And just like I want to see all of my records for a client, I want to see all my records for my realtor partners. And here's my Ricky Real Estate. I have 2 open house flyers. So if I want to copy this particular one, and I want to copy the analysis for the same realtor or new realtor, that makes a big difference. Because if you're copying this analysis and you want to create a new one, maybe an open house flyer, you're doing it for multiple locations, when you copy and add records for this particular person, all of their information would be there. So I'm really not sure of the scenario of what took place. You said yes? Yes. Okay, so if you want to take this particular presentation, I'm going to go ahead and double click to open and show you what it is. So this was my open house flyer here. So this is a presentation where I had 20% down on actually 20%, 10%, and 5% down on a purchase price of $875. back into the wizard here. You can do it a few ways. So you can copy the analysis here on this presentation, or you can do it a second way as home, view all, search, find your realtor, and you can copy this way. And then the question is, are you copying for the current partner so you can retain all their information, or are you copying for new? So if I do new, click OK. Okay, new partner. Great. So if I do new partner, my existing partner, Ricky Real Estate, is going to be gone. The products will remain. But when it comes to the contact info, this is for my new partner. So I would need to put in the new information for my new partner and along with my new partner's images. So only if you were copying for your existing partner or that current partner, all their information will remain. But if it's new, now it's time to put in Mrs. Ricky Real Estate, the new partner. So I hope that answers your question, Murray. Or you can kind of see what transpired. Oh, your products did not show. So your products did not show. I'm not really sure why your products did not show. In my demonstration, mine went ahead and filtered over. So we might have to do a little bit of analyzing on that particular one. So please, if you wouldn't mind, maybe copying and pasting that link and forwarding that right over to our support team, our support experts, and they can kind of hone down and kind of see what took place and kind of dive down deep in your scenario. Okay, great. And just in case anyone else needs to reach out to support, the email is support@mortgagecoach.com. We have support experts who knows about Mortgage Coach ins and the ins and outs. And we are available Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 4 Pacific time, just for those who needs to know. So great questions, guys. Lori, is there anything else you want to touch on before we wrap today's session?
No, you did a great job, Star. And another note, when in that help button, when you do have questions, there's a search engine. So like for copy feature, if you have any kind of need to know, do a search here because a lot of times you can't find the answer here. But always email us at support because it's really easy. We can provide you the answer and get that to you so you can create your presentation. But did want to point that out. We do have a new support center. So we just got that this week. So get in there. We have them categorize our questions and our facts differently. So get in, take a look, and always use that search engine. It will really assist you. So.
Absolutely. Okay, guys, so last call for any questions. Can me or Lori be any assistance to you with your questions before we let you go today? Looks like the question box is clear. Well, all right. Well, my name is Starlett Johnson. I'm one of the national trainers here, and I have my lovely co-host, Lori Lido, who is on the line with me today. So I'm so glad you learned a lot today, Murray. So again, these sessions are offered every Thursday at 9 Pacific time, and we will be recording this. So if you need to replay today's session, you definitely can do that once we have it uploaded and converted in our YouTube channel. So if you have not visited our YouTube channel, you might want to check it out to pull a replay of today's recording. So again, thank you all for joining today. I hope you have a great rest of your Thursday. Take care, and we'll see you next week. Bye, everyone.
Have a good day.